Hurst. Upgrades.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review brought to you from the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival. This film right here is called Birthright, and here's a quick synopsis. Cory, evicted from his rental, moves back with his parents with his pregnant wife, Jasmine. Focusing on his parents' wealth, he decides to achieve success through unimaginable actions, and this is directed by Zoe Pepper. It stars Michael Hurst, Linda Cropper, Maria Angelico, and Travis Jeffrey. Now, I was very intrigued at the premise of Birthright because this was supposed to be a dark comedic thriller just about housing and about exactly to the extent that this son would go to achieve housing. In turn, what I ended up getting is a very disturbing character study on what it is for a child to move in and attempt to replace their parents. This movie is as kooky as humanly possible. And at the same time, it feels targeted to possibly only a certain percentage of the population who could even imagine something of this nature happening. As we open up the film with Cory and his pregnant girlfriend, Jasmine, as they are packing up their car to move somewhere, you just don't know where it is. And then when they arrive at their parents' house, it is his parents' house. It's for a lunch. And the lunch turns into, we need to stay for a day or two. And then a day or two turns into, we need to stay until we figure things out here. That's possibly the biggest issue with Birthright. It gets to the point where the conflict between father and son, while at times it can be funny, it's just so disturbing and so unbelievable, it can take you out of this film. As we see Cory go through this power struggle in one particular scene, where they make Cory sleep in his old bedroom because their spare bedroom has no furniture in it. And that leaves him and his pregnant wife on bunk beds. The pregnant wife has back pains, and he kicks his parents out of their bedroom so his pregnant wife can be more comfortable. Once you get to that point of this film, nothing else feels realistic. It feels like after that, it's a bunch of gags tied together to attempt to make a storyline. And that is the biggest problem with Birthright, is that it feels like this is a sketch that went on too long. Like, if this was a short film, this could work really well for 10 minutes or so. But once you get past that 10-minute mark, it kind of wears thin, because as an audience member, I think you already know what's going to happen. You understand the conflict. You understand how this conflict is going to resolve itself within the first 20 minutes of this film. Unfortunately, you got to sit through about another hour and 20 minutes of the film before you get to those elements. And that's the issue with Birthright. I believe the director, Zoe, she may have thought that these were comedic elements that could help sustain the silliness of the plot of this film. But even the humor feels targeted to a certain demographic, a certain audience here. And I'm not part of that audience. So as I'm watching Birthright, I have completely different ideas and thoughts of exactly how this situation could end. And it feels like it's forcing the audience to think from a different perspective of their own, which still wouldn't make any sense. As it pertains to the actors' performances here between Travis and Michael, it feels like a War of Roses in a way between father and son for the stuff that we have going on here. And those are actually also the comedic elements of the film, is when them two really do interact with one another. The problem is we don't necessarily get enough of interaction as much as grunting that they do back and forth at each other and multiple times during the film. And that's what you kind of wanted here, is those conversations between father and son, and use that as a jumping board for the humor and for the thriller aspects. Instead, you just jump right into it and nothing is fully explained to anybody here. And by the time you get to the horrible third act of this film, you're still wondering, what did I just watch here? Like, how is any of this humanly possible? It depends on you being able to dispel belief for a long period of time in this film. And I think that is going to be the problem with a lot of people who watch Birthright. But Birthright currently playing at the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival. Out of a possible 10, I am going to give Birthright a 5 out of 10. It's elements of a good film here. None of it is executed like they even had the intention of making a good film. It feels like they were reaching for the raunchiness, but instead of getting that raunchiness, what you got is a really incomplete project. And I think that's going to be the issue with Birthright for a lot of people. The project just feels incomplete. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a complete film. It feels like I'm watching a short film that someone decided to add an hour onto. And just for that reason alone, it makes this film so much harder to watch. But check it out. Let us know what you think. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.